Good morning, everybody. My name is Angel Rich, founder of Wealthy Life, where we design financial literacy, education, and technology games. Before I tell you about my company, I would love to tell you about my amazing team. I'm a former global market research analyst for Prudential Financial, having conducted over 70 financial behavioral studies, including the first African-American financial experience study. It's the reason that Blacks are currently in life insurance commercials. I'm also a board member of the Charter School Development Corporation, representing 6,000 charter schools. I'm joined by fellow Hamptonians, Autumn Leatham, who used to be a high net worth portfolio manager for PNC, managing $300 million, and Courtney Keene, who is a contract specialist for the US Navy and manages $1.4 billion. These ladies play no games when it comes to money. So fortunately, we have an amazing CTO who is a 6-time serial entrepreneur that controls a 27-person man team in India. But I'd also like to mention Njai. Njai is one of the 50 interns that have walked the halls of Wealthy Life over the past 3 years and is now one of our lead animators. We have a pretty robust plan for team building, and it is core to our company. Now, we would like you to raise your hand if you would like to die broke. Some people say yes, some people say no. But the answer really isn't important. What is important is that you were able to make a choice. And as a fourth-generation Washingtonian, I know firsthand that not everyone gets the opportunity to make that choice. Imagine if there was a game that allowed you to live out your financial life without the risk of you losing your money. Introducing Credit Stacker. Similar to Candy Crush, this patent-pending match-3 game allows you to swap colored pieces that represent credit types so that you can make bill payments, achieve a high credit score, as well as learn from the adaptive multiple-choice questions built throughout the game. We have an additional 15 levels that we have just sitting that have already been designed that we would like to develop. The Office of Michelle Obama identified us as the best financial literacy product in the country earlier this year and would like to promote us across the world to veterans to help them better transition into civilian life. Now, don't go thinking we're some one-trick pony. We have 12 games in total that walk you from birth to retirement. It's built off of a 110-page curriculum that is supported by the Department of Education, and we plan to release the next 3 over the next 3 years, and I'm going to briefly tell you about each one. Charging Wall Street is a game about market volatility, where you have to toss the coins into a treasure chest that is representing the stock market and guarded by a bull that you don't want to awaken. As you miss the proper towing costs and you're not making proper investments, the market becomes volatile and the bull awakens. We're in conversations with Acorns right now to provide lead generation for them as they are an investment management platform. Whack-A-Broker takes it a step further, where it simulates whack-a-mole and investors pop up to make different buys and sales of stocks. You have to act fast and make sure that you are diversifying your portfolio. Thirdly, one of my favorites, Adonis Path, focuses on gamifying health, where if you were to walk into a McDonald's and choose between a salad and a burger, we then tell you the impact of your calories, the impact of your health, as well as the impact of your insurance costs. This is going to be our first foray into augmented reality. I myself have lost 100 pounds and did my college thesis on diabetes prevention. We plan to link all 12 of these games together so that you can fully play out your life before you risk yourself. Every year, $17 billion is spent on financial marketing, while at the same time, these companies are in serious need of financial education solutions. More than 1 billion people in poverty have smartphones because it's their communication lifeline. Our goal is to transform financial marketing into financial education, and we believe that we're going to be able to do that. We're unique in several different ways. We're one of the only companies that actually test our product to make sure that it works. We do pre-post studies on everything that we do. We also have tested it with special needs. The Department of Labor named special needs financial literacy one of their top priorities because when people don't learn financial literacy and they're in a special needs condition, they tend to rely on disability funds. So we feel it is important to teach people with special needs financial literacy. We're also applicable to all ages, having tested it from preschool all the way up to veterans. Our revenue model is simple. The game is available for free, and we make money off of the back end through the ads and services that we provide. Since launching in July, we've scaled to 23,000 downloads. Everybody pull out your cell phones, download it now, available on Google Play and Apple. Give us 5 stars and say something nice. We're in 4 languages and 40 countries. Additionally, we have a $3 million contract with Choices Incorporated, where for the first time in history, if you're on probation, instead of picking up trash on the side of the street, you can come complete our program and receive community service hours for it. We're also in talks with the Department of Corrections to hopefully get this integrated into the prison system so that people can actually get a reduced sentence on their probation for completing financial literacy courses in advance. Our product has been thoroughly validated by 2 independent research studies. One sponsored by the Charter School Development Corporation and 3 charter schools, where they found that after 12 weeks, financial literacy rates go up by 42%, as well as the Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking for 15,000 students across the entire DC Summer Youth Employment Program, where they were not having results for the previous 5 years using competitors that was on a previous slide. And they found with our product that after an hour, financial literacy rates went up by 25%, and we helped open up 1,300 bank accounts. We've won more than 10 awards, including JP Morgan Chase Financial Inclusion Competition for the best idea in the world for reducing poverty. And not to mention, this is a picture of Michelle Obama's office. We have bootstrapped this entire company, and we're already generating revenue. We've already collected checks from the Choices contract. We plan to scale above $160 million by year 5 with a low CAC of 42 cents and an average revenue per user of $5. But most importantly, we genuinely believe and know that this product is going to reduce poverty and increase wealth distribution. We are excited to bring jobs, internships, game development, and financial literacy courses to Buffalo, while at the same time reducing municipal debt. We plan to use the funds to hire more employees, build out our games, and build robust financial literacy programs throughout the city. We feel as though this is essential in order to build an outstanding financial literacy ecosystem, and we want to put Buffalo on the map as the most financially inclusive city in the world. And we know that we can do that right here. Why is this so important to me? Well, my last year at Prudential, I made them $6 billion. They put me on a CEO track, gave me a double promotion, and a full ride to Wharton. So what was a girl to do? I went to Africa. And while I was there on a mission trip with my church, I met this little boy and realized this was his only piece of clothing. And after he stared in my face day in and day out, I think I even fed him a few times, I realized he would probably never have the opportunity to actually go to Wharton, no matter how smart he was, just because of where he lived. And it didn't sit right with me. So I made it my goal to create a product so that everyone, everywhere, can have equal opportunity for financial literacy, no matter where they are. And with more than 163 comments, we are ecstatic to say that we have made an international impression, and we are starting to change people's lives. Please join us for real change and making this world a better financial place. Thank you.
Oh my God. Man, was that unbelievable. We have to hire you no matter what happens to become a motivational speaker for every one of the people in this city. That's unbelievable.
Thank you.
Boy, oh my God. So I have downloaded this.
Thank you.
And so you guys should start playing it.
Thank you.
Because it's a lot of fun. But oh my, you've set a pretty high bar for every one of the rest of these guys that's coming up here, man. Let me tell you something. That was pretty special.
Thank you.
Now you're going to have to face the trial here. We're going to have to start, of course, no question about it, we have to start with Mr. Goldman Sachs because this is about, building wealth, and I guess that's what you try to do for people. So, Tom, we'll start with you.
Thanks for that. That was a great presentation,
Thank you.
It sounds like a really fun game.
Thank you.
I don't like to play games that much, so I'm sure it's fun for those that have been playing it in your sample markets. Tell us a little bit about the revenues that you would expect. You mentioned advertising as the main one, and also please touch on revenues that you might be able to earn from, from school districts and what have you as part of that, to the extent they integrated it into their curriculum.
Sure, definitely. So we pretty much have 3 essential revenue streams. First, based on the integrated advertisements within the game, where they may come from Google AdWords or a particular sponsor that want to place ads in the game. It actually kind of ties into your second question a little bit here. With the charter schools in particular and the schools in particular, we plan to always keep the product available for free, and we're working on an LOI right now with community banks for them to sponsor the ads for the schools so that it sort of all ties together and they're able to open up bank accounts and get familiar with those particular banks. Additionally, we are making money off of the services we provide, where we go out and provide financial counseling, financial coaching, and they pay us $50 per hour, up to 20 people at a time. So that means we make $1,000 per hour off of that, and we pay somebody $20 to $30 an hour, which means we're generating $970 worth of profit per hour. Thirdly, we have a bigger marketing platform where we're in conversations with people like New York Life, Visa, Citibank to have a larger impact in emerging markets. For instance, if somebody wanted to go after the Atlanta market, we have partnerships with housing authorities, schools, churches, and the like, so that if they wanted the entire city, we're able to market to that city at one time without them having to go to each individual distribution channel. We already have those relationships, and we're going to charge them a lump sum for the marketing of those relationships. We've already done that with New York Life at Six Flags in PG County.
Matt?
What's your actual strategy to get people to use the games? Because these models are dependent upon people actually liking to play these kinds of games. Candy Crush is a lot of fun for people right now. Why would they want to do this instead of play Candy Crush?
Yes, I actually find that fascinating as well, but they actually like to play the game. I have video where I've had to go around and shut off computers because people refuse to stop playing the game. They genuinely find it entertaining and fun and love to play the game. And what I find fascinating is they also love the learning component, where they will actually sit there, debate over the questions, try to figure out what the question is, and take it serious. So people really do enjoy playing the game. The 23,000 downloads that we have has come purely from just putting it on Google AdWords. We haven't even started working with our distribution partners. Once we start working with our distribution partners, people like the White House, the charter schools, the housing authorities, we believe it's just going to scale astronomically from there.
Thank you.
So I've invested in ed tech and gaming, and I know and love the space. Great job. As a follow-up to Matt's question, we know that gaming lives and dies by growth hacking and audience development. And so when you talk about the SEO that you've done so far on Google, has that been paid or organic? And second of all, what is your overall growth hacking strategy?
Yes, given that I am a statistician, I'm really good at creating algorithms. So the algorithm that we have for our Google AdWords, I almost would say rivals Google's, maybe even better. I'm thinking about patenting it, and I'm serious. And so we were able to reduce our CAC from $1 to 42 cents over the last few months, and we plan to get it down to 35 cents next year. That's just in pure paid advertisement. From there, with the distribution partners, we know that our CAC is going to reduce even further because we're not going to have to pay for as much advertisement.
And across other platforms and OES or iOS developer lead relationships at Apple, Android?
We actually have a relationship with a guy that runs the #1 Apple blog, Mac Rumors, I think it's called, and we're also in conversation. The reason we created the app, I should mention this, is because Google approached us, and they want to put it on all their Android devices. We had the web version developed first. I was speaking at the Congressional Black Caucus, and Google came up and said, hey, if you create this into an app, we would really like to put it on all of our Android devices. And we're in conversations with Microsoft as well right now. They want to put it on their Windows devices.
Hold on before we next question. So you used a term, we have a lot of students in the room, CAC. Explain what it is.
Customer acquisition costs is CAC, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Yes, gotcha.
Nish, your question?
I have a lot of questions. So you're amazing.
Thank you.
Love your energy. Feel it.
Yeah.
Super cool. Great speaker. A lot of passion, and congratulations what you've built so far.
Thank you.
The ultimate success for this product is going to be the product. Like, not all the PR you can generate and all the support you can get and all the money you can raise. So today the average, I'm not aware of your algorithms, but the average download or user acquisition cost baseline in US is anything between $3.50 to $4.50. If you really want to advertise on a level where you want to get like millions of downloads but not thousands of downloads, feel free to challenge me on that. It's a multi-part question. So one is I have concerns around genuine acquisition cost of millions of users. Secondly is how do you intend to keep the game interesting? Because sustained user base and sustained gamification with an audience which has a very low attention span, even things like Pokemon Go lost like 90% of its users after the first 3 months. So it's a very, I mean, though the cause is amazing, the users are ruthless. They will like the game, it's very binary, or they won't. And lastly, I feel at this stage, the product is very almost compatible or looks like a web-based game rather than actually phone game. And gaming has gone to a like completely different level. So I feel there is a product level weakness. So you are the strength, your passion is the strength, your vision is the strength, but I think some work needs to be done on the team side and on the product side. What do you feel about those statements?
I'm going to take your questions in reverse, sir.
Yeah.
I agree with you about the product. As I said, we bootstrapped this entire company.
Yeah.
We're very proud of the product that we have, given that we pretty much built it off of air. And so that is why we are looking for funding. We have another 15 levels already designed that looks more like a game that you would be expecting to see, more like a saga-ish type of version. We have 11 other games that we plan to release with Def. We have them also designed already. We just simply need the funding so that we're able to properly develop the games to the vision that we have. We definitely understand where you're coming from with that. In terms of the distribution and the users, we believe that we are going to be successful in our CAC, or our customer acquisition costs, because of the algorithm that we've developed. And I'm happy to go over it with you afterwards, but Google Analytics actually is predicting for us to have millions of downloads that we're leaving on the table every day. It keeps me up at night. We simply just need the funding to be able to put into the Google AdWords to be able to continue to scale and have that level of impact. Thirdly, to your point of sustainability, that one of the reasons that we're so big on partnering with the schools and the recreation centers and the churches and the housing authorities and all of these different things that we have contracts with is so that it becomes a requirement for people to be able to use it. So it is permanently integrated into the schools, permanently integrated into the family self-sufficiency programs. I've been given all 69 recreation centers in DC tons of plans that we have for permanent integration into governmental systems.
Bam, right back at him. I love that. That was great.
Thank you.
So he was pretty tough on you, wasn't he? Nish, you were pretty tough on her, huh? That was a tough question.
No, she did well.
Last question. One more.
Thank you. I graduated from Gonzaga, so good to see that DC is putting together some programs like this. Can you talk about the competition that you see in the field presently, and if you're this successful, where you expect it to come from?
So we pretty much have two sort of top competitors. One is Mind Blown Labs. They launched in 2014. They've been adopted by the President's Financial Literacy Council. They only have 1,000 downloads with a rating of 4.0. We have a rating of 4.4. I've heard firsthand that their product does not work, it is not engaging, and they are desperately looking for another product. It's sort of a similar story with EverFi. EverFi was really good at raising a lot of funding, not so much of financial literacy. We have had three government agencies switch from EverFi over to us. The competitor that Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking was using previously was EverFi. The product does not work. They actually expressed interest in acquiring us quite recently. So we know that we have a superior product of both of the competitors.
Great job.
Thank you, sir.
Great job.